We all have habits that we want to change, for instance, diet, exercise, addiction, etc., but we rarely succeed in changing these habits. It is natural for humans to lack the willpower to change their habits. Almost all New Year's resolutions are broken in a month. So, how did Lisa Allen get rid of habits? This book begins with her wonderful story. Lisa was suffering from obesity. She was 34 years old. She had already started drinking and smoking when she was 16. In her mid-20s, she was in so much debt that collection agencies were after her. She did not hold any jobs for more than a year. A few years later, Lisa was sitting with a group of neurologists, psychologists, geneticists, and sociologists. She was slim, vibrant, and her legs were well-shaped as a runner. Without any debts or drinking habits, she looked a decade younger than her previous photos, and she was working for 39 months in a graphic design company. She has not smoked in 4 years, she has lost 60 pounds, and has run a marathon since. She was also studying for a master's degree and bought a house. How Lisa did what millions of people could not do is the subject of this interesting book. Can habits be changed? Yes, says the author, once the habit loop is understood, and that the brain is receiving a signal, seeing a pack of cigarettes or seeing someone smoking, following the routine of lighting, boosted by craving for nicotine, and finally reward, smoking. This signal routine craving reward is the cycle of habit. According to Charles Duhigg, the reason we cannot easily change our habits is because we effortlessly and unconsciously move from one signal to another each time. The secret of our ability to change our habits is to change the part of passion and routine. What did Lisa do? She accidentally stumbled upon this secret on a trip to Cairo. A few months before the trip, her husband had gone to find another woman. After a few agonizing months, she recovered and left to Cairo. As she walked through the Sphinx and the pyramids, she thought she needed a goal. She decided that she would return and go on a desert trip. To get rid of this daring act, she had to quit smoking. This led to a series of changes that would radiate to other parts of her life. There are many stories similar to this one in the book. For example, how publicist Claude Hopkins turned toothbrushing from an obscure practice, only 7% of the American population, into a national obsession and, in the process, the success of Pepsodent. Or how Procter & Gamble's surefire winner Febreze, which could eliminate any odor, supposedly failed disastrously at first and then turned into $1 billion after Procter & Gamble changed the desire, introducing the scent when the main promise was to remove the odor. Also, Alcoholics Anonymous treats lives by attacking the core addiction habits. The Power of Habits book is divided into 3 parts. The first part focuses on how habits are formed in an individual's life. The second examines the habits of successful companies and organizations. Duhigg tells how Paul O'Neill remanufactured Alcoa, an aluminum company striving to become a high-performing company by focusing on one key habit, safety. He describes why even the most talented surgeons can make fatal mistakes when hospital organizational habits fail. The third part examines the habits of societies, for example, how Martin Luther King, Jr. and the Civil Rights Movement succeeded in changing ingrained social habits in Montgomery, Alabama. If we understand the mechanism of habits, we can change them definitely. According to Duhigg, it's about changing an important part of the entire habit loop series first. For more details, see the link to this great book in the description section.